This again is on section 5.1, homework assignment number 20. We're just going to work about 3 more problems. I just didn't want to rush through these. Again, we have 2 linear equations, x minus 2y equals negative 3, negative 2x plus 4y equals 7. Now remember, the very first thing you need to do is to decide which of these variables you want to eliminate. Class, anytime I have a 1 for a coefficient, I'm usually going to go there. So if I want to get rid of these x's, remember, what could you add to a negative 2 to be 0? Well, it would be positive 2. So I need to multiply this top equation all the way across by 2. Now all the way across, even through the equal, that'll be 2x minus 4y equals negative 6. And I'm just bringing over the second equation. Now remember, my original decision was to eliminate the x, and I did. 2x minus 2x. But look what happened. I also eliminated the y. 4y minus 4y. So I have a 0 left on the left-hand side. And 7 minus 6 is 1. Now here's the most important thing for you to see. You have no variable. In other words, I have added out both my x and my y. I also have a false statement. Now notice that. I have no x, no y. I have a not equal. 0 does not equal 1, so I have a false statement. Now think about that. Think of your English. Think of your prefixes. False statement. False means no. This is telling me that I have no solution. I did not get a value for x or for y. Now, no, remember, not. Then this means they are not consistent. Inconsistent. And again, no, they are not dependent. They are independent. Now remember, if you have no solution, if you had graphed these lines, they would have been parallel. That's not a true graph of them, but just an indication that they would be parallel. That's one of the easiest types. You see, a lot less work to do there. All right, let's look at number 5. We have x minus 2y equals negative 3, and negative 2x plus 4y equals 6. Now again, the first thing I want to do is to decide what do I want to eliminate. It can either be x or y. You cannot make a wrong choice. I'm going to choose x. What could I add to negative 2x to get 0? Well, it would be positive 2x. So to turn this x into 2x, I need to multiply by 2. Again, all the way across. 2x minus 4y equals negative 6. Bring over the bottom, negative 2x plus 4y equals positive 6. Now I set out to eliminate x. 2x minus 2x is 0. I did. 4y minus 4y is 0. I did. Now I have no x. I have no y. 6 minus 6 is 0. So I actually eliminated everything in the entire problem. Now, notice the difference here. 0 equals 0. That is a true statement. But I have no variables. Again, no variables, but a true statement. Now this means that if you graph this, one line would fall directly on top of the other line. So I have infinite solutions, which means that every point on one line is also a point on the other line. Since I do have solutions, it is consistent. And since I have infinite solutions, it is dependent. In other words, one line is dependent on the other. Now, some books will select and choose infinite solutions, but our book asks us to go one step farther. And they say, now look, you do have solutions, so let's represent that as an ordered pair. Now here's how we're going to do this. Since this could be many ordered pairs, I'm going to let the x value be represented by x, and then I'm going to solve the y in terms of x. So all you're going to do is to go get one of your given equations. I'm going to take the first one, x minus 2y equals negative 3, and I'm going to solve it for y so that y will be in terms of x. Remember, I'm trying to look for y. So let's solve this for y. I'll move this x over. It becomes negative x minus 3. Now, I'm going to divide everything by negative 2. And I have y equals negative over negative is a positive, and that's 1 over 2, so that's 1/2 x, or x over 2. Negative into negative is positive, 3 over 2. Now notice y is equal to 1/2 x plus 3/2. So this is going to go right here for my y. Now this is the way that your book will leave the answers for infinite solutions. Okay? We'll do one more like that just to be sure that we're okay. We'll look at number 6. Negative 0.3x plus 0.1y equals negative 0.1, and 6x minus 2y equals 2. Now I think it's real clear that the second equation looks much easier than the first. So what we want to do is to get rid of the decimal. Now each of these has one decimal place, and remember one decimal place is tenths. If I want to move this decimal one place, it's the same as multiplying by 10, and I'd want to do that in every term. So I'm going to multiply by 10. Now that's going to have the same effect as moving the decimal one place. So this will be negative, move the decimal, 3x, plus move the decimal, and that's going to give me a 1y equals negative, move the decimal one place, negative 1. I'm bringing over the second equation. Now, at this point, you make the decision. What do you want to get rid of? I think I will get rid of, since I see this 1, I'm going to get rid of the y. So what would I add to negative 2 to add it to be 0? Well, positive 2. So I'm going to multiply the top equation by 2. Alright, I'm going to have to come right that down to the down below this to get room. Now I'm going to multiply by 2. That's negative 6x plus 2y equals negative 2. Bring down the bottom. 6x minus 2y equals 2. Now again, 6 minus 6 is 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. Now, I have no variable. The other trick is that I have a true statement. A true statement means one line would fall directly on top of the other line. So you have an infinite number of solutions. Because you have a solution, it is consistent. And because I have one line or infinite solutions, it is dependent. Now, again, they want me to write this as an ordered pair. So I'm going to say, well, I'll let the first value be x, and then I need to solve for y. So you need to take one of your equations. I'm going to take this much easier equation. I'm going to take 6x minus 2y equals 2, and I'm trying to move this up a little bit. I'm trying to solve for y, so I'm going to solve this for y. Let's move the 6 over, and then let's divide everything by negative 2. That'll be y equals 3x minus 1. Now remember that's y, so I'm going to write it right here. And this is what we're going to say our actual solution is. Now notice you don't have a true solution, but if you knew what x was, then you could solve for y, because there are many solutions.